When Women Speak and New Jersey Poetry Events presents When People Speak, Poetry and Conversation with pop-up poetry guests. Our pop-up poetry lineup will be
about when people speak and what makes us work in forms of, we need some monetary assistance at times to pay for our platforms. This is definitely not for profit. So you want to handle that part of what we need from our listening audience?
Definitely. You can support us by donating whatever you can, $2, $5, whatever you can to $ Amira Shabazz right on Cash App. So, everything helps out. We're trying to keep this platform going and support the artists as well. And also other things too down the road. But this is how you can continue to support us and support the artists that appear on this platform.
Yeah, because one thing that we need to understand is that being a poet, being a writer, being an artist is just like any other occupation, although we love it. When they perform, when they share their work, their original work here on this platform, at some point we'd like to get to a place where we can give them some kind of payment for this performance. So we're asking the listening public out there to assist us. And as James says, this is not a large amount, $1, $2, whatever the case may be. We would like to eventually pass that off to those that perform on the show. So I'm going to thank you in advance for your consideration and your appreciation and your support of the arts via When People Speak. So we're going to keep our program moving. James, who we have coming up next?
Yes. We have none other than Faith Money. And let's bring her up to the show. There she is. How are you?
Oh, well, how are you all tonight?
I'm wonderful. I've been waiting to meet you. I read that bio of yours. Oh my gosh. Everybody needs to know how valuable you are, sis. James, give us a little information about Miss Faith.
Definitely. Coming from a do-it-yourself family, Faith has always celebrated special occasions in VFWs and fire halls. When she was 16 years old, she dreamed of owning a banquet venue that operated like a VFW, but did not look like one. In 2015, at the age of 29, Faith stepped out on faith and opened the Supper Club. A year later, through the blessings of God and hard work, she opened her second venue, Reflections. And in June 19th of 2019, Miss Money partnered with actor model Joshua Worlds to open the third venue, Miss Seely's Blues. Phenomenal venue in Turnerville, New Jersey. Shout outs to the crew. In addition to her business, Faith Money has founded and runs a mentoring program, Still I Rise, helping young minority women learn the fundamentals of starting and running a successful business. I might be tiny, but I'm mighty is the best way Faith likes to describe her 4'11". I'm not going to throw your weight out there. Look, I'm a man. I know better. She continues to express that she never stops pursuing her dream because it seems too small or did not make sense in the eyes of others. True indeed. With God on my side, I will never stop. Come on, help me introduce to the show the entrepreneur herself, the owner, and now co-owner of Miss Seely's Blues, the one, the only Faith Money.
Welcome, Faith. Wow. See, that's what I'm talking about. No wonder your last name Money. I'm gonna see how I can be adopted into that, because that's powerful. That's powerful as a Black woman that's powerful as a young American. That's a powerful statement, and it also shows others that this can be done. I am very, very, very proud of knowing you at this point, and I'm very proud of your progress so far. And thank you for being a contributor to everything that's out there and everything that's good. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Faith Money to the platform stage of When People Speak. James and I will be stepping off and letting Faith have this entire stage. See you in a minute, Faith.
Okay, everyone. I'm kind of new to the poetry platform, and I guess that might come out in a little bit once I get the slight interview of giving a bit of the background. But I only have one piece for you all tonight, and the name of this piece is called Identity. They say, girl, you need to learn how to be alone. And I say, why? When I was built from that man's rib bone. I know I'm smart. I know I'm strong. I know how to be free. But at the end of the day, there's still a large part of that man that's built inside of me. And yes, I know I'm Mother Earth, and from these peaks they do feed. But yet again, they still forget that it's my love that they need. Okay, baby girl, my queen, or whatever they choose to call. But yet again, they still forget that at times it's at my feet they may need to fall. And don't they understand that from my womb there comes life? But yet again, they'll let you walk around, do everything for him, but won't claim you as his wife? Well, baby, sister, don't you be mad at that man. It was you who chose to turn around and eat out that man's hand. But don't think that I'm just standing here pointing at you and you and you, because I've turned that finger back around on me and I'm speaking to me too. But this time I've decided not to take my bitterness out on the next man, and I've asked for discernment to know when I'm in the right man's hand so I can recognize my king who knows when to fix my royal crown, and the one who knows how to speak life into me when I'm falling to the ground. But I'm asking that I understand the days that he needs that from me too, so that we pour into each other, leaving neither one of us lost, left, abandoned, nor confused. See, this feels like a dream that's not too far out of my reach, but yet again they say, little girl, that's just too much that you seek. Okay, fine. Maybe they're right. Maybe that's not meant for me now, but I promise you this, it's my prayer for my next generations and their little crowns. That way they already see and understand what a true king and queen are built like, and they know their vision's not blurred and that their dream's not too far out of sight. That way she doesn't have to be the woman that eats out that man's hand, and he's already a king that knows how to help his queen stand. And they didn't have to wait till they were adults and all grown, because the seed was already planted while they were rising in their own homes, and they've learned how to build empires and sit on their own thrones, because they recognize that the beauty of this power is more precious than any ruby or any gold. Thank you.
Wow.
Powerful. She came out of the chute with spitting fireballs out there, didn't she?
I get in trouble for that a lot, actually.
No trouble here. We enjoyed it.
See, I was gonna let the comment fly about you, being new to poetry. You definitely didn't show that in that piece. You brought that, sis.
Thank you.
Some of the comments from the Facebook Live family is pure fire, lots and lots of claps. Bring it, poet, bring it. And then people quoting lines from your poem, Own Thrones, and things like that. So this is definitely resonating with the people that are tuned in. We all appreciate your work. It was a wonderful experience hearing you, and we hope that you'll come back to the platform.
Thank you. I'm glad to be invited, and I'm going to make sure that we share this. I think this is a beautiful platform, and we're here to support you.
Thank you. And also,
thank you.
Just like the other young ladies and every woman that follows you, you have an open invitation to share your work on the sister program, When Women Speak. Next program, January 19th. You're welcome.
All right.
All righty. That was Faith Money. All right. Whew, she's fire. She's just fire.
Yeah, she came out there. She said this was her first time.
Yeah,
She's new.
yeah,
I certainly
yeah.
couldn't tell. I certainly couldn't tell.
Mm,
So
mm.
who we got next, James? Who we got next? Let's keep this ball going here. Who we have next?
Oh, next we got a powerhouse. Before our main course, none other than Oscar
Oh,
Castro. Let's
Oscar. Come on up. Come on up, Oscar. Bring yourself up to the stage so our audience can partake.
Greetings,
How are
everyone.
you? Greetings. How are you?
I'm well. It is a beautiful Tuesday evening. Thank you for having me.
Yes, it is.
thank
And we
you.
welcome you to When People Speak. And I'm going to share your bio with the folks out there so they'll know exactly who is in front of them. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Oscar Pierre Castro Bohiti I'm going to mess this one up. Fotuto. And he is an artist and nonprofit professional with over 25 years of service in social justice. He is also a writer and a photographer. Yeah. And you can learn more about his creative work at www.pohiti.futu. Oh man, I'm messing that up. Oscar, you're gonna have to fix that for me. Oscar's love for poetry began at an early age, and over the years, he's been both written and read works on stage, while also finding ways to have some of the poetry recorded with house music producers in the U.S. and the U.K. And his work also appears on 2000 CD, and the title of that CD is "The Free Bop Movement" by Jafar Barron.
And so, Boiti is the name. It's a title, really, of a Taino shaman or wise person, person who is close to the earth and the plants and the animals. And it was a name that was given to me sort of by one of my cousins, and it stuck as a name that I assumed as my creative alter ego. Fotuto is what we would call a conch shell in Puerto Rico. And so essentially I combined the two names to create a full alter ego with a first and a last name, essentially. But it's also the name of my media services company. And so I operate both as a media services person and as a creative using that name. So, yeah.
Definitely would like to know more about the media services, but right now I want you to take us into your world. What's your work like? Let's share that with our audience, and then maybe we can come back and have a few minutes to chat about it.
Cool.
How about that?
Sounds like fun.
So James and I are going to leave the stage and let you have it. Everybody out there, this is Oscar Castro. Welcome.
Good evening again, everyone. This is this first piece I'm going to read is called "Through the Woods to Freedom," with a potential trigger warning for those who may have experienced sexual trauma. Tired, hungry, she walked slowly, trying not to fall. Trying not to fall. Alone, all alone, all by herself, step after step. The ringing in her ears had finally stopped. Blood congealed on her face, mask her freckles. The good eye, the one not nearly closed by the repeated blows, struggles to stay open. Step after step, 18 miles through the woods, in the dark, by herself. But it had to be. It had to end. The nightmare wasn't really over yet, but for the first time in a long time, she knew no fear. Lights straight ahead. Feeling like Sojourner or Harriet, she stumbles forward. A tree branch scrapes the bad eye, badly. She screams, softly, and grabs her swollen face, muting her pain. She sees the light and shudders. Stay off the road. He may be looking for her, fear tells her. But she ignores it. She moves towards the light. A car, parked on the road. The road. A road to freedom. Her body pauses instinctively. She hears arguing, fighting. Even from her distance, she sighs, gulps down a sob, and keeps moving. The loud voices stop when she emerges from the tree line. A loud cry, a woman's scream, car doors open, the argument ceases. Are you okay? She's hurt. Who did this? Did you call the police? She has no shoes, babe. She's missing a shoe. She's a mess. She falls, finally, resting on the road, beside the open car door, as everything turns black. That was Through the Woods to Freedom.
Powerful.
Powerful.
Yeah. So it's obviously about a female. So is it a story that you're telling of situations, or is it a personal story of someone that you knew?
It's an amalgamation, I guess, of stories. I know people who have experienced trauma, domestic abuse, and I had challenged myself to do a 30-day poem a day challenge. And this was one of the challenges that I brought to myself. And I woke up in the morning and I wanted to think of a theme that I felt I could write for or write with. And so not having experienced those things, I began to challenge myself, but knowing the stories of others, I felt like I could try and capture this story in a way. As I write, I often see these things like screenplays in my head or movies in my head. So I was imagining the visuals as I was thinking about the story and then writing it, turning it into a poem.
I definitely can relate to that. And as you were speaking, I was definitely getting mind visions of the whole situation. And it was kind of like a silence went throughout my body, just thinking of this young woman and having had gone through that. So one thing I do want to say about the piece was I appreciate the warning in the beginning, because there are so many women that are affected with this type of trauma, and we never know what triggers. And it was good that you let people know in advance that this poem was about that kind of situation. I personally thank you.
Thank you. Is there room for one more?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Okay, so we'll step off and let you go ahead and have that space.
This one is, as an activist, I write about things often that matter to me and to the world, or should matter to the world. And this one I wrote years ago. I think it's relevant today, and hopefully won't be relevant in the future, but certainly is relevant for today. As we enter into 2021, let's think about the George Floyds and the unnamed George Floyds. This one's called Forgotten Sons and Fathers. Like shadows waning on the path of the status quo, forgotten sons and fathers fade while the whistles blow. Slave labor in the penitentiary, university of criminal activity, imprisonment of the poor, playing pimp to the core, asking who's the John? Who's the whore? 3 meals a day to ensure they can steal the energy that they store. Political prisoners of an unjust war, piling them in every day like a slave ship stacked, ceiling to floor. Ears that can see, eyes that can hear. Brothers have to learn no fear in the bowels of the dungeon. Have you thought what it would be like to take their place? Can the whole human race ever understand that space deprivation is cruel, an inhumane tool? Private prisons come along with their corporate rules. The incorporated slave system is the machine that sees green built on the backs of black and brown youth, glamorizing jail time, seduced like fools. False prophets emerge from the stock market, privatizing the prisons a solution for economic change. Now the profits rearrange, and yet the quality of life for the imprisoned has stayed the same. Forgotten sons and fathers fuel the machine, while the corporate wardens benefit from the human steam. No longer made in China if the prisoners work cheaper. Slaving to earn $60 a month considered good behavior. Can't see your kids in a federal bid. They live too far away from your control grid, and nobody in the system cares if you didn't do what they say you did. Forgotten sons and fathers are forgotten by society pretending that they don't exist. A society whose hypocrisy puts the entire planet at risk. Set them up to fail and then catch them when they fall, not to help lift them up, but to incarcerate their souls. The forgotten sons and fathers hemmed up by abuse, false charges, coerced confessions, in the wrong place and wrong time, convicted of possessions, sit in cells and prison yards, surrounded by walls of stone, steel, and prison guards, shackled to their fate. These forgotten sons and fathers wait to be remembered. Thank you, y'all.
Thank you. So you had a couple of comments from the Facebook Live family. Pimp to the core. Brothers have to learn how to feel in the space of the dungeon. False prophets. Oskar, you are the storyteller and pure straight up facts. Yeah, so they were feeling that. They were feeling that.
Thank you.
Oskar, you're from Puerto Rico?
My DNA is I was born in Camden, New Jersey. So my family is from Puerto Rico. I hail from there as well.
Cool. I thought I heard that earlier in the conversation, and I just want to make sure that that's what I did hear.
Yes.
It's all cool. Love your poetry, bro.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I appreciate
good
you, bro.
stuff, man.
Yeah. And you can find me at boetifotuto.com. You can find me on Facebook or Twitter. But I mostly spend time on Instagram and Facebook. So I'm easy to find. Just either Google Boeti or Oskar Castro. Spell my name with a K and you'll find me.
Absolutely.
Look at me.
You going, James?
Nah, he said, oh, yeah, with the K. I had to make sure I spelled it right.
You got it right. Thanks, bro.
Oskar, it's been our pleasure having you on our stage. I hope to see you again on When People Speak, the original storyteller, fresh and new, always right here on our stage. And we will see you again, I hope. Everybody, this was Oskar. Thank you, Oskar.
All right. Awesome stuff.
We warmed that stage up pretty good, I think.